नहमदुहु व नुसल्ली अला रसूलिहिल करीम अम्मा बाद. Now we are at Surah An-Nazi'at. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. وَالنَّازِعَاتِ غَرْقًا وَالنَّاشِطَاتِ نَشْطًا وَالسَّابِحَاتِ سَبْحًا فَالسَّابِقَاتِ سَبْقًا فَالْمُدَبِّرَاتِ أَمْرًا. صدق الله العظيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. As I mentioned before also, 5 surahs of the Quran start with this style. وَالصَّافَّاتِ صَفًّا, that was the first. Then وَالزَّارِيَاتِ ذَرْوًا, that was the second. وَالْمُرْسَلَاتِ عُرْفًا, that was the third. This is the fourth. وَالنَّازِعَاتِ غَرْقًا. And the final and fifth will be وَالْعَادِيَاتِ ضَبْحًا فَالْمُورِيَاتِ قَدْحًا فَالْمُغِيرَاتِ صُبْحًا. Just as you may remember, 29 surahs of the Quran start with huruf muqatta'at, letters which are pronounced separately. 3 with 1, noon, qaf, sad, and so on. In total, 29 surahs, they begin with huruf muqatta'at. 5 start like this. So there are various forms in which the surahs begin. Regarding the first and this fourth, there is consensus that here angels are mentioned. وَالصَّافَّاتِ صَفًّا, that surah contains an intrinsic proof also that there the angels have been mentioned. Here also there is consensus in Nazi'at that these are the angels. And the final one, وَالْعَادِيَاتِ, about that also there is no difference of opinion. But you know, in between two, Zariyat and Mursalat, about the oaths of these two surahs, there are many opinions. But here it is absolutely agreed. وَالنَّازِعَاتِ غَرْقًا, by the angels who tear the souls of the wicked forcibly. Gharqan, the angel dive deep into the human being and then tears off the soul when it is dying. And this is for the kuffar, because their souls, when they are taken and possessed by the angels, it is as if they are being torn, But for the Muslims, for the believers, وَالنَّاشِطَاتِ نَشْطًا, by the angels who untie gently the souls of the virtuous and the righteous. They very ease. So that is the difference between how an unbeliever dies and how a mu'min dies. The Prophet said that the death of an unbeliever is like there's a hot rod on which there is kebab, and you are just pulling the kebab off that hot rod. But as for the mu'mins, believers, as if there was some bag of water and only a drop comes out of it, that's all, easily. There's no difficulty for them. But this is the inner aspect. Outwardly, there might be, even the believers when they die, they might face hard times. For those who see, they might feel that they are having a very hard time. Because we know that even the Prophet ﷺ, at the time of death, he had much of, stress, and he was in pain, agony, very severe headache, and all these things were there. So one is the external aspect, which is visible to the people. Other is the internal aspect, when this soul is taken away from that body. So the condition of the disbelievers is different from that of the believers. وَالسَّابِحَاتِ سَبْحًا, then taking possession of the souls of these people by the angels, who then float swimmingly. They are going, taking away the souls. فَالسَّابِقَاتِ سَبْقًا, then they go racing with one another. They compete. I will go further, and the other is competing. No, I'll go first. فَالْمُدَبِّرَاتِ أَمْرًا, and then they ordain the decreed affair that has been Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them. That is where to take this soul, either towards Illiyin or towards Sijjeen. That we shall learn inshallah in Surah Al-MUTAFFIFEEN. But according to the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then these angels take these souls to their destinations. Now after these 5 ayat of oaths, muqsam alayh, on what these oaths have been taken, it is not mentioned. It is understood, and that is inna ad-deena lawaqi', innama tu'aduna lasadiq, just as we found in Surah Zariyat, in the same way Mursalat. So there we find this muqsam alayh, or what this oath Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is taking, that is inna ad-deena lawaqi', innama tu'aduna lasadiqun wa inna ad-deena lawaqi'. Whatever is being promised to you is absolutely true, it will happen, and the day of recompense, day of judgment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is definitely coming, so there is no doubt in it. يَوْمَ تَرْجُفُ الرَّاجِفَةُ تَتْبَعُهَا الرَّادِفَةُ. Upon the day when the shaking thing will shake, and then after it there will follow a next blast. These refer to 2 blowings of the trumpets. The first day, that is as-sa'ah. When the trumpet will be blown, the earth and the mountains will shake like anything. Ya ayyuhan nas ittaqu rabbakum inna zalzalata as-sa'ati shay'un 'azim. An earthquake, a quaking, a shaking, a terrible shaking. But after some time, then there will be Yawmul Qiyamah, the day of resurrection. It will be followed by the second blowing of the trumpet, when all will be revived. So these are the 2. And we have read it in Surah Zumar also. وَنُفِخَ فِي الصُّورِ فَصَعِقَ مَنْ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَنْ فِي الْأَرْضِ إِلَّا مَنْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ ثُمَّ نُفِخَ فِيهِ أُخْرَى فَإِذَا هُمْ قِيَامٌ يَنْظُرُونَ. So these 2 blowings of the trumpet. قُلُوبٌ يَوْمَئِذٍ وَاجِفَةٌ. Many a heart on that day will be throbbing in fear. Absaruha khashi'ah. Their glances, their eyes will be downcast. Yaquluna inna lamarduduna fil hafirah. That will be the picture of the day of judgment, on the day of the recompense. But today what they are saying? Yaqulun. Today they are saying, inna lamarduduna fil hafirah. Are we indeed to be restored to our former state? Shall we be resurrected when we die and we become bones and clay and dust? Aiza kunna izaman nakhira. What? When we shall have become bones, decayed? Qalu tilka izan karratun khasira. They say that would then be a losing return. This is a taunting, now okay, yes, as Muhammad is saying, if we are returned, definitely, then it is going to be a very losing return. We will be in loss. But they were not believing in it. فَإِنَّمَا هِيَ زَجْرَةٌ وَاحِدَةٌ. But it shall only be a frightening shout, zajra, frightening. And فَإِذَا إِنَّمَا هِيَ زَجْرَةٌ وَاحِدَةٌ فَإِذَا هُمْ بِالسَّاهِرَةِ. And behold, they shall all appear on the gathering plain, the Maidan-e-Hashr, the plain on which all human souls will be gathered. Halat aka hadith of Musa. Has the story of Musa come to you, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Iz nadahu rabbuhu bil wadi al muqaddas Tuwa. Just recall when his Lord called him in the sacred valley of Tuwa. Now this has come many a times and in details. Here in the small surahs, this mention is very brief. Izhab ila Fir'auna innahu tagha. Go to Fir'aun. Surely he has exceeded all limits. Faqul hal laka ila an tazakka. And say to him, would you like to be purified? Would you like your soul to be purified? Wahdiyaka ila rabbika fatakhsha. And may I guide you to your Lord so that you have his fear? فَأَرَاهُ الْآيَةَ الْكُبْرَى. Then he showed him the biggest sign, the miracle, the staff turning into a serpent. فَكَذَّبَ وَعَصَى. But what happened? He belied and disobeyed. ثُمَّ أَدْبَرَ يَسْعَى. Then he turned back hastily, striving to defeat Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, gathering the sorcerers, magicians, so that there should be, a competition between the two, so that it is proved that Musa is nothing but a sorcerer or a magician and nothing else. So he tried his best. فَحَشَرَ فَنَادَى. Then he gathered the people and cried out. Nada. He cried out and shouted. And he said, فَقَالْ أَنَا رَبُّكُمُ الْأَعْلَى. I am your Lord, the Most High. This is very important, and we have read it before also, that he said, أَلَيْسَ لِي مُلْكُ مِصْرَ. Is not the kingdom of Egypt under me? I am the monarch. I am the sovereign. وَهَذِهِ الْأَنْهَارُ تَجْرِي مِنْ تَحْتِي. All this irrigation system is under my control. So this is the political sovereignty, which he is saying that I am Lord. So this aspect of Tawheed we have discussed in full. That Tawheed, on the one hand, Tawheed of creed, Tawheed fil Aqidah. On the other hand, Tawheed fil Amal, Tawheed in practice. And in practice, if somebody is following his wishes and desires and lusts and contravening the demands of and laws of the Sharia, then he has made his nafs his God, his Allah. Arayata man ittakhadha ilahahu hawahu. Have you seen that person who has made his own lust and desire his God, his ilah? And the highest form is the claim to sovereignty. Whosoever claims to be sovereign is claiming to be equal to God or God. So this was his claim. I am your Lord Most High. فَأَخَذَ اللَّهُ نَكَالَ الْآخِرَةَ وَالْأُولَى. So Allah seized him with his punishment of the hereafter as well as the present. He was seized and drowned with his armies. This was the punishment of here, of this world. And then the punishment of the hereafter is the fire of the hell. So these both punishments. إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ الْعِبْرَةَ لِمَنْ يَخْشَى. Surely in that is a lesson for him who fears. Whosoever has fear of Allah in his heart, then this story of Moses and Fir'aun, there is a lesson in it for them. أَنْتُمْ أَشَدُّ خَلْقًا مِنَ السَّمَاءِ وَبَنَاهَا. Are you more difficult to be created, or the heaven that he has built? When man thinks that it is difficult, it's impossible, how we can be resurrected? What does it mean? They think that the creation of man is greater, harder, more difficult. For that Allah who has created the heavens. Antum ashaddu khalqan. Are you more difficult to create? Amis sama, or the heaven. Banaha. He built it. Rafa'a samkaha fasawwaha. He raised up high its canopy and then perfected it and balanced it. Waqtasha laylaha wa akhraja duhaha. And he darkened its night and brought out its bright morning. Wal arda ba'da zalika dahaha. And after that, he spread out the earth. Akhraja minha maha wa mar'aha. He brought out therefrom its water and its grazing grounds. Everything coming from this earth. We dig a well and take out water from the earth. The tube well is going down and water is gushing out. In the same way, all these pastures, all these gardens, all this vegetation is from the earth. وَالْأَرْضَ بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ دَحَاهَا أَخْرَجَ مِنْهَا مَاءَهَا وَمَرْعَاهَا وَالْجِبَالَ أَرْسَاهَا. And the mountains, he fixed them firmly. مَتَاعًا لَكُمْ وَلِأَنْعَامِكُمْ. Note this ayah. This ayah will be repeated in the next surah also. Because this surah and the next surah Abbas, they are in the form of a pair. مَتَاعًا لَكُمْ وَلِأَنْعَامِكُمْ. all this is a provision for you and your cattle. فَإِذَا جَاءَتِ الطَّامَّةُ الْكُبْرَى. So when that great calamity will come, that is as-sa'ah, يَوْمَ يَتَذَكَّرُ الْإِنسَانُ مَا سَعَى. That day man will remember and recall what he strived for, what he worked for throughout his life, what was his goals. So actually that day he will recall. يَوْمَ يَتَذَكَّرُ الْإِنسَانُ مَا سَعَى. I spent my life in what pursuits? For gaining what? وَبُرِّزَتِ الْجَحِيمُ لِمَنْ يَرَى. And the hellfire will be made evident for whosoever sees it. فَأَمَّا مَنْ طَغَى. So whosoever exceeded the bounds specified by the Lord, bounds of the Sharia, bounds of the divine law, وَآثَرَ الْحَيَاةَ الدُّنْيَا, and preferred the life of this world, فَإِنَّ الْجَحِيمَ هِيَ الْمَأْوَى. Surely then the fire of hell shall be his abode. Now these two things, فَأَمَّا مَنْ طَغَى. In pursuit of our passions, emotions, our desires, our lusts, this worldly lusts, and so on and so forth, we cross the limits of the Sharia. We cross the limits of halal and haram. And number two, we prefer this life to the life of the hereafter. Now one thing is that you deny that there is no life hereafter, no resurrection. That is kufr of a very high degree. But even if you say, I believe in it, but your attitude in this world is showing that you have preferred this life to that. You are working more for this life than that. You attach more importance to the comforts and gains of this life than that of the hereafter. So this is what is said here. وَآثَرَ الْحَيَاةَ الدُّنْيَا. And whosoever prefers this life of this world, فَإِنَّ الْجَحِيمَ هِيَ الْمَأْوَى. Surely his abode will be the hellfire. وَأَمَّا مَنْ خَافَ مَقَامَ رَبِّهِ. On the contrary, the one who kept fearing and shivering with the idea that one day he will have to stand before his Lord for questioning, for reckoning, وَنَهَى النَّفْسَ عَنِ الْهَوَى. And he restrained his baser self, the animal instincts, from the desires and mean and lusts and desires of this world. So these are again two. There was two things. أَمَّا مَنْ طَغَى وَآثَرَ الْحَيَاةَ الدُّنْيَا فَإِنَّ الْجَحِيمَ هِيَ الْمَأْوَى. As against that two things. وَأَمَّا مَنْ خَافَ مَقَامَ رَبِّهِ. Whosoever was fearful that one day he will have to face his Lord, stand before him for the questioning. And as the result of that, وَنَهَى النَّفْسَ عَنِ الْهَوَى. He pulled the reins of his id or libido from all the things which are forbidden by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَإِنَّ الْجَنَّةَ هِيَ الْمَأْوَى. For such people, the garden is going to be the abode. يَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ السَّاعَةِ. But these people, they are asking you, O Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, about that hour, that when it will come to pass. When they had no other argument, the last thing, they should say, okay, when will it happen? Tell us. Or bring that chastisement. But here Allah says, يَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ السَّاعَةِ أَيَّانَ مُرْسَاهَا. They are asking you, questioning you about that hour, when it will come to pass. فِيمَا أَنْتَ مِنْ ذِكْرَاهَا. What concern to you of its declaration? You have no connection with that. This is with us. We shall decide, and we know it. It's not your job to tell people when it will come. إِلَىٰ رَبِّكَ مُنْتَهَاهَا. Your Lord is, to your Lord is the goal thereof, or it concerns only your Lord. Only He knows when that hour will come. إِنَّمَا أَنْتَ مُنْذِرُ مَنْ يَخْشَاهَا. Your position, your duty, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is only to warn those who fear it. If they have some fears in their hearts, well, that fear will increase. They will be motivated to take to the right path. So that is your duty, that's your job. كَأَنَّهُمْ يَوْمَ يَرَوْنَهَا لَمْ يَلْبَسُوا إِلَّا عَشِيَّةً أَوْ ضُحَاهَا. The day they see it, it shall be as if they had but lived in this world for only one evening, or in addition a morning or more, and that's all. All this life, it might have been 80 years, 90 years, 70 years, but it will appear to be an evening or maybe also the following morning. Now we come to Surah Abas. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Abasa wa tawalla. He, that is the Prophet ﷺ, frowned and turned aside. Anjahul a'ma, because there came to him the blind man. Now the incident in the background is that once the Prophet was busy talking to the chiefs of Quraysh, important people, noble, as we have read many a times. He had more attention towards them, because if they accept Iman and Islam, then Islam would be strengthened. And also the plight and condition of the downtrodden Muslims, the slaves, etc., they could be better. If these people who have a high position in the society, if they come in the fold of Islam. So that was only the only cause for which the Prophet used to pay attention to them. But it so happened when he was busy, Hazrat Abdullah ibn Maktoum radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, and he was first cousin of Hazrat Khadija radiyallahu ta'ala anha, and he was a blind person. He came and he wanted to address the Prophet. He wanted that the Prophet should listen to him. So the Prophet ﷺ felt it. He didn't like it. I'm busy here and he wants my attention. But because he was blind, he couldn't see the situation. He again tried to address him. On that, there were turns on the forehead of the Prophet ﷺ, frowning. So for displeasure, the sign of displeasure appeared on his face. He, the Prophet, frowned and turned aside. He didn't turn towards Abdullah ibn Maktoum, but his attention was diverted toward the same chiefs. وَمَا يُدْرِيكَ لَعَلَّهُ يَزَّكَّى. And how could you realize that it might be that he might have purified himself? Abdullah ibn Maktoum, he is coming to you, he wants to talk to you. It was just possible that your giving attention to him would have purified him. أَوْ يَزَّكَّرُ. Or he might have got some admonition, some reminding. فَتَنْفَعُ الذِّكْرَى. And the admonition might have profited him. أَمَّا مَنِ اسْتَغْنَى. As for those who is not paying any heed to you, وَأَنْتَ لَهُ تَصَدَّى. You are attending to them very attentively. وَمَا عَلَيْكَ أَلَّا يَزَّكَّى. And there is no blame on you if they are not purifying themselves. You are not responsible for them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not going to question you. Why didn't they accept your message? Well, the responsibility is theirs. But they are not paying attention. They show there is no inclination whatsoever. But you are trying and trying and trying. وَأَمَّا مَنْ جَاءَكَ يَسْعَى. And who comes to you running eagerly? He wants to benefit from your company, from your talk, from conversation that he can have with you. وَهُوَ يَخْشَى. And he has a fear of Allah in his heart. فَأَنْتَ عَنْهُ تَلَهَّى. To him you pay no heed. Kalla. Don't do this. Don't take to this attitude. Innaha tazkira. Verily this Quran is only an admonition and reminding. فَمَنْ شَاءَ ذَكَرَهُ. So whosoever wants, let him be reminded. Let him be admonished. Let him remember. فِي صُحُفٍ مُكَرَّمَةٍ. These ayat over here, the majesty of Quran, it is described here, as we have seen, إِنَّهُ لَقُرْآنٌ كَرِيمٌ فِي كِتَابٍ مَكْنُونٍ لَا يَمَسُّهُ إِلَّا الْمُطَهَّرُونَ. If you recall, in Surah Al-Waqi'ah. Then we had إِنَّهُ فِي أُمِّ الْكِتَابِ لَدَيْنَا لَعَلِيٌّ حَكِيمٌ. In the same way here, فِي صُحُفٍ مُكَرَّمَةٍ. This Quran is inscribed in records which are greatly honored. Marfu'atin mutahharatin, exalted, kept pure and holy. Bi'aydi safaratin, in the hands of the writers. And who are those writers? Kiramim barara, the angels who are noble and virtuous. So this is the situation, this is the position of this Quran. You don't, so to say, dishonor it by offering in this way. And so to say, you are running behind these rich people and the chiefs, taking Quran in your hand or presenting to them Quran. Quran is a very honorable thing. So whosoever wants, okay, he has the right that this message should be conveyed to him. But whosoever feels no interest, no inclination, let him go where he goes. قُتِلَ الْإِنسَانُ مَا أَكْفَرَهُ. Death to man. How ungrateful is he? مِنْ أَيِّ شَيْءٍ خَلَقَهُ. Of what thing, out of what did he create him? He never thinks. مِنْ نُطْفَةٍ, out of a sperm drop. خَلَقَهُ فَقَدَّرَهُ. He created it from that and then molded him in proper proportions. ثُمَّ السَّبِيلَ يَسَّرَهُ. Then made the way easy for him. The way, what does it mean? Maybe the process of birth, coming out of the womb of the mother into this world, breathing in this atmosphere. This is also a very difficult way, but Allah makes it easy. Then, passing through this world, there are difficulties. We shall read, إِنَّكَ قَادِحٌ إِلَىٰ رَبِّكَ قَدْحًا فَمُلَاقِيهِ. But a man is accustomed to it, and then, he passes the whole life. ثُمَّ السَّبِيلَ يَسَّرَهُ ثُمَّ أَمَاتَهُ. Then he made him die. فَأَقْبَرَهُ. And got him buried. ثُمَّ إِذَا شَاءَ أَنشَرَهُ. And after that, whenever he wills, he shall raise him. Now the former things, which one of those were easy? Creating a man out of a sperm drop was an easy job. This birth, do you think it's an easy process? How Allah has, made it easy. Then everything that is going on before your eyes, each thing is very difficult, if you think. Only because you see them day and night. So you think you take them for granted. But if you think and ponder, everything is very great. And everything is a symbol of Allah's omnipotence, that He has all authority and all power. ثُمَّ أَمَاتَهُ فَأَقْبَرَهُ ثُمَّ إِذَا شَاءَ أَنشَرَهُ. It's the second step, that's all. كَلَّا لَمَّا يَقْضِ مَا أَمَرَهُ. No, but man has not fulfilled what his Lord has commanded him. The Lord has commanded, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. And we made the covenant before coming into this world. أَلَسْتُ بِرَبِّكُمْ قَالُوا بَلَى. But man does not fulfill the covenant. He does not fulfill what God commands him. فَلْيَنْظُرِ الْإِنسَانُ إِلَىٰ طَعَامِهِ. Once before, the attention to your own creation. Now look to the food that you eat. فَلْيَنْظُرِ الْإِنسَانُ إِلَىٰ طَعَامِهِ. Let this man look at his food. أَنَّا صَبَبْنَا الْمَاءَ صَبًّا. It is we who poured down water abundantly. Who brought down the rain? Ourselves. ثُمَّ شَقَقْنَا الْأَرْضَ شَقًّا. Then we split it, the earth, in clefts. فَأَنبَتْنَا فِيهَا حَبًّا. And then we made the grain to grow. وَعِنَبًا وَقَضْبًا. And the grapes and the palm trees. وَعِنَبًا وَقَضْبًا. And the grapes and vegetables. وَزَيْتُونًا وَنَخْلًا. And the olive trees and the palm trees. وَحَدَائِقَ غُلْبًا. And walled gardens of dense growth. وَفَاكِهَةً وَأَبًّا, and all sorts of fruits and fodder. مَتَاعًا لَكُمْ وَلِأَنْعَامِكُمْ. Again that ayah repeated. And all this is a provision for you and for your cattle. فَإِذَا جَاءَتِ الصَّاخَّةُ. Again compare. There was فَإِذَا جَاءَتِ الطَّامَّةُ الْكُبْرَى in Surah Al-NAZIYAT. And here it is فَإِذَا جَاءَتِ الصَّاخَّةُ. Then when the deafening cry will come out. يَوْمَ يَفِرُّ الْمَرْءُ مِنْ أَخِيهِ. On that day, man will run away from his brother. وَأُمِّهِ وَأَبِيهِ, and his mother and his father. وَصَاحِبَتِهِ وَبَنِيهِ, and from his wife and his children. لِكُلِّ امْرِئٍ مِّنْهُمْ يَوْمَئِذٍ شَأْنٌ يُغْنِيهِ. Every one of them that day shall have enough concern of his own to make him indifferent or unmindful or of others. This is what we call in some of the tradition, nafsi, nafsi. Everybody will be thinking about himself. And we have read in Surah Al-Ma'arij, يُبَصُّرُونَهُمْ يَوَدُّ الْمُجْرِمُ لَوْ يَفْتَدِي مِنْ عَذَابِ يَوْمَئِذٍ بِبَنِيهِ وَصَاحِبَتِهِ وَأَخِيهِ وَفَصِيلَتِهِ الَّتِي تُؤْوِيهِ وَمَنْ فِي الْأَرْضِ جَمِيعًا ثُمَّ يُنْجِيهِ. Take all humanity, put it in hell, please save me anyhow. This will be the condition. But we should think here. We have beloveds, sons, daughters, wives, husbands, parents, and for them, for pleasing them, we do wrong things. We earn through prohibited means. For them, to provide for them a better living, to provide a better education for the children. We indulge in all things, in riba, so that they can have more comfortable, big mansion to live. Okay, go and have in mortgage, have a house. But on that day, you will be thinking about your own self. What should be our attitude here? Here also we should first of all think of our own salvation, then the salvation of others. But there is circle. First of all, you own قُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ وَأَهْلِيكُمْ نَارًا, and also your family. Then وَأَنذِرْ عَشِيرَتَكَ الْأَقْرَبِينَ, then a broader circle, your relatives, your kith and kin, then your nation, maybe your tribe, then the all mankind. But this should go in this sequence. Not that you are going and calling others to the deen of Allah and forgetting your own family. You don't think where they are going. And you are living happily with them. Although their direction is absolutely opposite to the direction of deen. But still your instinctive love for them, that is there. So what will happen? يَوْمَ يَفِرُّ الْمَرْءُ مِنْ أَخِيهِ وَأُمِّهِ وَأَبِيهِ وَصَاحِبَتِهِ وَبَنِيهِ لِكُلِّ امْرِئٍ مِّنْهُمْ يَوْمَئِذٍ شَأْنٌ يُغْنِيهِ. Now again we have here a picture of the day of resurrection, as we had in Surah Al-Qiyamah. In the same way, وُجُوهٌ يَوْمَئِذٍ مُسْفِرَةٌ. Many faces on that day shall be beaming, shining, glittering, glaring. ضَاحِكَةٌ مُسْتَبْشِرَةٌ, laughing, rejoicing. People who believed, and because every nafs, every soul would be knowing where it stands. بَلِ الْإِنسَانُ عَلَى نَفْسِهِ بَصِيرًا. Although it has not been declared, but they know it. What is going to be declared for us? So those who are going to be successful, declared successful, already on their faces, you find, those signs of success. وَوُجُوهٌ يَوْمَئِذٍ عَلَيْهَا غَبَرَةٌ. Many faces on that day shall have dust upon it. تَرْهَقُهَا قَتَرَةٌ. Darkness will be overspread over them. أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْكَفَرَةُ الْفَجَرَةُ. Those, they will be the disbelievers and the miscreants. Now, a pair of two surahs, Surah Al-Takwir, Surah Al-Infitar. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Idha ash-shamsu kuwirat. This surah is very peculiar, that the scene of the as-sa'ah, what will be happening, what will be the turmoil, the kafiyat of that turmoil on that day. Idha ash-shamsu kuwirat, when the sun will be wrapped up. Wa idha an-nujumu kadarat, and when the stars will fall and lose their luster. Wa idha al-jibalu suyirat, and when the mountains will be made to move. Wa idha al-isharu uqtilat, and when the 10 months pregnant she-camels will be running here and there without being taken care of. 10 months pregnant she-camel was a very valuable thing for the Arab Bedouin. So he used to take very care of it. But no, today, that day, nobody will have any thought of that she-camel. That will be running this side, this side. وَإِذَا الْوُحُوشُ حُشِرَتْ, and when the beasts were be herded together, that even the beasts, they will forget that their function is to prey and kill and eat. No. They will be standing as if stunned. They will be herded together. وَإِذَا الْبِحَارُ سُجِّرَتْ, and when the seas will boil and swell. وَإِذَا النُّفُوسُ زُوِّجَتْ, and when the souls will be reunited. But the interpretation of this reunion of souls, we have two opinions. One is from Akrama and Hasan Basri, rahimahumullah. That is, they will be reunited with their bodies. When we die, our souls are separated from our bodies. The bodies go to the earth, decays. But now on the resurrection, these souls are united again with the bodies. These bodies will be new. New bodies will be given, and now the souls will be reunited. Just as in the wombs of the mother, after 4 months, that soul, that spirit is brought by the angel and united with the embryo in the womb of the mother. In the same way, on that day, the souls will be reunited with their bodies. But from Ibn Abbas radiyallahu ta'ala anhuma, the opinion is that the souls will be grouped in different categories. There are different categories of disbelievers, different categories of the believers. Among the believers there would be prophets, messengers, then the Siddiqeen, then the Shuhada, and so on and so forth, awliya Allah. So they will be grouped accordingly. And in the same way, among the disbelievers and the enemies of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there are different grades. وَإِذَا الْمَوْءُودَةُ سُئِلَتْ, and when the girl child buried alive is questioned, بِأَيِّ ذَنْبٍ قُتِلَتْ, for what sin of her she was slain and buried alive. This was the custom with the Arabs in that Jahiliyyah, that they were very much ashamed when they were told that a daughter has been born to them. And most of them used to take the daughter and bury it alive, dig a pit and put her in it and then throw the sand over her. So now, instead of saying that the people will be asked, why did you bury your daughter? No, the scene is that baby, that she will be asked, due to what mistake of yours you were slain. وَإِذَا الصُّحُفُ نُشِرَتْ, and when the records of the deeds, they will be laid open. These are your records. اقرأ كتابك كفى بنفسك اليوم عليك حسيبا. وَإِذَا السَّمَاءُ كُشِطَتْ, and when the heaven is stripped off, laid bare. وَإِذَا الْجَحِيمُ سُعِّرَتْ, and when the hell will be set ablaze. وَإِذَا الْجَنَّةُ أُزْلِفَتْ, and when the garden is brought near. alimat nafsum ma ahtarat. On that day, every soul shall come to know what it has sent before for itself. All his deeds are there. فَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ خَيْرًا يَرَهُ وَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ شَرًّا يَرَهُ. Every soul will come to know that this is what I had sent before coming to this world. I had already sent these deeds of mine here. Now the second part of this surah, it discusses the same issue which is discussed in the beginning of Surah An-Najm. Sight of the Prophet ﷺ that he saw Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam in his original angelic form twice. Once on the ufuq, on the horizon, and once in the Sidratil Muntaha on the night of the ascension, Miraj. So the same issue is, because more important issues are, as a rule, discussed in the Quran at least twice. Now there what Najm started with the oath, one Najm iza hawa. Here also you find, فَلَا أُقْسِمُ بِالْخُنَّسِ الْجَوَارِ الْكُنَّسِ وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا عَسْعَسَ وَالصُّبْحِ إِذَا تَنَفَّسَ. I swear by the receding stars, moving swiftly and hiding. And I swear by the night when it departs, وَالصُّبْحِ إِذَا تَنَفَّسَ, and by the morning when it breathes, starts breathing, because activity is going to start after the morning, as if morning is breathing. إِنَّهُ لَقَوْلُ رَسُولٍ كَرِيمٍ. Verily, surely, definitely, this is the speech of a noble messenger. And hereby the noble messenger is meant Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam. In Surah Al-Haqqah, the noble messenger, إِنَّهُ لَقَوْلُ رَسُولٍ كَرِيمٍ, was Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And we have read in Surah Al-Hajj, Allahu yastafi min al-malaikati rusulan wa min al-nas. So this is word of God, word of Allah. From Allah, it came to Jibreel. From Jibreel, it came to Muhammad. And from Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, people knew it. So this is the speech of Jibreel also. And we can say this is the speech of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Because it came out of the mouth of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. It was not sent down written on anything. It was sent on his heart and the people came to know it through the mouth of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So it is called of Rasul. But both are Rasul. Jibreel is Rasul number one. He is the Rasul from among the angels. And Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is Rasul number two. He is the messenger from among the human beings. إِنَّهُ لَقَوْلُ رَسُولٍ كَرِيمٍ ذِي قُوَّةٍ عِنْدَ ذِي الْعَرْشِ مَكِينٍ. There we had ذُو مَرَّةٍ فَاسْتَوَى ثُمَّ دَنَا فَتَدَلَّى فَكَانَ قَابَ قَوْسَيْنِ أَوْ أَدْنَى. These were the, condition of Hazrat Jibreel described in Surah An-Najm. Here, ذِي قُوَّةٍ عِنْدَ ذِي الْعَرْشِ مَكِينٍ. He is endued with power. And he has a high position near the Lord of the throne, Zil Arsh Makeen, Muta'in Samma Ameen. He is obeyed by the angels. And at the same time, he is trustworthy. Whatever message is given to him, he conveys it exactly in the same form. وَمَا صَاحِبُكُمْ بِمَجْنُونَ. And your friend, your man, that is Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The same word came in Surah An-Najm. مَا ضَلَّ صَاحِبُكُمْ وَمَا غَوَى. Your man, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, is from amongst you. He is a Qarshi from the tribe of Quraysh. And he has not gone mad. And here, مَا صَاحِبُكُمْ بِمَجْنُونَ. He is not possessed. No evil spirit has possessed him. He has not gone crazy. وَلَقَدْ رَآهُ بِالْأُفُقِ الْمُبِينِ. he saw the angel Jibreel at the clear horizon. وَمَا هُوَ عَلَى الْغَيْبِ بِضَنِينٍ. It has been interpreted in two ways. He is not miserly in conveying the unseen. Whatever knowledge of the unseen comes to him, he conveys to the people. He is not miserly, doesn't keep it to himself. And the second meaning, he is not the seeker of the unseen. He doesn't want that the unseen should be disclosed to him. It is being disclosed to him by the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has appointed him as a messenger. وَمَا هُوَ بِقَوْلِ شَيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ. Anyhow, this is not the speech of an accursed Satan. فَأَيْنَ تَذْهَبُونَ. So where are you heading? Where are you going? In huwa illa zikrun lil alamin. This Quran and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, both are nothing but an admonition to the worlds, to all the peoples, all the nations of the world. لِمَنْ شَاءَ مِنْكُمْ أَنْ يَسْتَقِيمَ. To whomsoever of you who wills to go straight, whosoever wants to take to the straight path, for him this is the guidance. وَمَا تَشَاءُونَ إِلَّا أَنْ يَشَاءَ اللَّهُ. And your wishing will also be of no avail unless Allah also wishes. You want to do something, Allah gives the permission, then you can do it. So even your wishing and your deciding something is not sufficient, but Allah's permission is required. إِلَّا أَنْ يَشَاءَ اللَّهُ رَبُّ الْعَالَمِينَ. Except as Allah wills, the Lord of the worlds. Now the second surah of this pair is Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. إِذَا السَّمَاءُ انْفَطَرَتْ. Now here these ayat depicting the condition of that as-sa'ah are limited in number. 4. There we had so many, but here very brief. إِذَا السَّمَاءُ انْفَطَرَتْ. When the heaven will be split asunder. وَإِذَا الْكَوَاكِبُ انْتَصَرَتْ. And when the stars will be fallen and scattered. وَإِذَا الْبِحَارُ فُجِّرَتْ. And when the seas and oceans are flowed out and dried up. وَإِذَا الْقُبُورُ بُعْثِرَتْ. And when the graves will be overturned. عَلِمَتْ نَفْسٌ مَا قَدَّمَتْ وَأَخَّرَتْ. Every soul will know what it sent forward and what it left behind. I described it, explained that these are the two aspects of our deeds that we are doing in this world. One is that we are sending, before going to that world, during this lifetime, whatever we are doing, it is going ahead of us. But when we die, we leave something. The legacy is there. Maybe we have left something very good and it is very beneficial for the people. Maybe you have established an institution from which the people are benefiting and getting the knowledge of Quran. So this will keep on giving you credit in the books of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is what you left behind. Maybe you left your sons and daughters as good Muslims, good Mu'mins. And so they will be, which we call sadqa jariyah. This is actually a virtue that will continue. So every soul will come to know what it had forwarded beforehand and what it had left behind. Ya ayyuhal insanu ma gharraka bi rabbikal kareem. This is the third place in the Quran, then this concept is discussed. O man, what has seduced you regarding your Lord the gracious? This is a very effective and very dangerous, attack of Satan. He says, okay, go on doing what you are doing. Allah is forgiving. Allah is merciful. Don't worry. Go on. Continue. So what he's saying is true. Allah is merciful. No doubt. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us He is very strict in punishment also. Both things have to be kept side by side, simultaneously. And There should be a balance. Bayan-ul-Khawf wal-Raja. Otherwise, you will go to this way or that way. You will leave the straight path. It is necessary that you should have hope. Allah will try as best as you can. And then hope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whatever the shortcoming, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive. But also keep the fear, maybe, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala punishes him for that. So Satan would say, go, do harm. Allah is forgiving, Allah is merciful. Ya ayyuhal insan, ma gharraka bi rabbikal kareem. What has beguiled or seduced you concerning your gracious Lord? Allazi khalaqaka fasawwaka fa'adalak. Who created you, then fashioned you, then proportioned you rightly. Fi ayyi suratin ma sha'a rakkabak. Into whatever form he willed, he composed you. Whatever features he wanted, he gave you. So he has done all these things for testing you. And what is the use of testing? If all are going to be forgiven, what's the use? This is all exercise in futility. No. Kalla bal tukazzibuna bid-deen. If you are thinking in that way, actually you are belying the reward. Malik yawmiddin. He is the authority on the day of judgment. But judgment, what's the use of judgment? If there is forgiveness for everybody, then what this judgment for? And what this trial? And what this test? Everything becomes absolutely meaningless. Kalla bal tukazzibuna bid-deen. Nay, but you are belying the reward. Wa inna alaykum lahafizeen. Although we have put over you appointed guardians, kiraman katibin. Surely over you are appointed guardians who are noble writers. You have two of them. They are writing everything, recording everything, every deed of yours, every action of yours, every word you utter being recorded. Kiraman katib. What for then? If no reward is to be given, if no punishment is to be given, then why this? Innal abrara lafi na'im. Surely people will be divided on that day. The pious shall be in bliss, who fulfilled their covenant with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, their creator and their master. They will be in bliss, in blessings. Wa innal fujjara lafi jahim. And surely the miscreants, the transgressors, those who were disobedient to their Lord, they will be in the hell. Yaslawnaha yawmuddin. And they will enter it on the day of judgment. This is the Yawmuddin, which we say in Surah Al-Fatiha, Malik yawmuddin. Wama hum anha bighaibin. And once entered it, they will not be absent from it. They will have no place to run, no place to hide, no place to have any refuge. وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا يَوْمُ الدِّينِ. And what will make you realize? How can you imagine what this day of judgment is? ثُمَّ مَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا يَوْمُ الدِّينِ. Again, how can you visualize, how you can understand what this day of judgment would be? How grave, how hard. يَوْمًا يَجْعَلُ الْوِلْدَانَ شِيبًا السَّمَاءُ مُنْفَطِرٌ بِهِ. That day, يَوْمَ لَا تَمْلِكُ نَفْسٌ لِنَفْسٍ شَيْئًا. The day when no soul should be helpful for another soul. Nobody will be helped to help either his father or mother or son or daughter or wife or husband. No, nothing. يَوْمَ لَا تَمْلِكُ نَفْسٌ لِنَفْسٍ شَيْئًا. No soul will have any power to be helpful for the another soul. وَالْأَمْرُ يَوْمَئِذٍ لِلَّهِ. And the authority and command that day will be exclusively in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just as we have read before, it will be shouted, called, لِمَنِ الْمُلْكُ الْيَوْمِ لِلَّهِ الْوَاحِدِ الْقَهَّارِ. To whom belongs the sovereignty today? In the world you said you are sovereign. But to whom belongs the sovereignty today? Lillahi al-wahid al-qahhar. Sovereignty today belongs to only Allah, who is alone, al-wahid al-qahhar. Suratul MUTAFFIFEEN. This and Suratul Inshiqaq, which comes later, they are a pair. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Wailul lil mutaffifeen. Woe to the mean defrauders. You know, if somebody is selling something and giving by measure, and he is not filling the measure to its full, so he is defrauding the purchaser. But how mean it is? How much can he gain through it? In the same way, somebody is, weighing something to give to his customer, and he gives a jack to his hand, and he will gain something. But how much? Maybe a few grams in a kilogram. That's all. So actually, mean defrauding, not a big fraud, not a very big gain, very small gain. This is tough, mutaffifeen, who are selling their faith for very, very, very small price. Wailul lil mutaffifeen, woe to the mean defrauders. Alladhina idha iktalu ala an-nasi yastawfoon, who when they take measure from the people, they take full. When they are taking something, someone else is measuring something for him, he takes full. وَإِذَا كَالُوهُمْ أَوْ وَزَنُوهُمْ, but when they measure for others or weigh for them, يُخْسِرُونَ, they diminish it. أَلَا يَظُنُّ أُولَٰئِكَ أَنَّهُمْ مَبْعُوثُونَ. Now this is to be pondered over carefully. This small action, but it shows something very big. It means he doesn't know or he doesn't believe that a day is to come when he will be resurrected and he will be questioned for each and every deed of his. The deed is very small, but what is this denoting is very big. Alā yazunnu ulāika annahum mab'ūthūn. Don't they think that they shall be resurrected and raised up? لِيَوْمٍ عَظِيمٍ, on the might day. يَوْمَ يَقُومُ النَّاسُ لِرَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ, the day when the people will stand before their Lord, before the Lord of the worlds. The whole mankind will be standing for that accountability, for that reckoning. Kalla inna kitab al-fujjari lafi sijjeen. Verily the records of the miscreants will be in Sijjeen. Wama adraka ma Sijjeen. And what will make you realize what Sijjeen is? Kitabun marqoom, a register inscribed, written. Wailun yawma idhin lil mukazzibin. Woe that day to the beliers. Now we have read this, Wailun yawma idhin lil mukazzibin. It was repeated 10 times in Suratul Mursalat. Wailun yawma idhin lil mukazzibin. Woe to those people who belied the messengers on that day. Allazina yukazzibuna bi yawmiddin. Those who belie the coming of the day of judgment. They say no day of judgment is coming. Wama yukazzibu bihi illa kullu mu'tadin asim. And nobody belies the day of judgment except the one who is rebellious sinner. Only the rebellious and the sinner, he says that no day of judgment will be coming. إِذَا تُتْلَى عَلَيْهِ آيَاتُنَا قَالَ أَسَاطِيرُ الْأَوَّلِينَ. Whenever ayat are recited unto him, he says, oh, these are the fables of the ancient. Kalla, nay, bal rana ala qulubihim ma kanu yaksibun. Actually, what they have been earning has made their hearts rusting. There is rust on their hearts, and that is why they can't see and they can't understand. and they can't see that these ayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are haqq. Barakallahu li wa lakum fil Quran al-Azim wa nafa'ani wa iyyakum bil ayati wa dhikril hakim.